A security camera caught me standing over a dead body in the parking garage. What it didn't show was that I was trying to save her life. I had just finished a late shift at the hospital where I worked as a janitor. It was almost midnight when I walked into the parking garage and saw a woman lying face down on the concrete next to her car. Her purse was scattered across the ground. She wasn't moving. I ran to her immediately. My training from the army kicked in without thinking. I checked her pulse. She was alive, but barely. Her breathing was shallow, and her skin was cold and clammy. I called 911 while trying to keep her stable. The operator told me to stay on the line and that help was coming. I put my jacket under her head and held her hand and told her everything would be okay. She died before the ambulance arrived. The police showed up 10 minutes later. They found me kneeling next to her body with blood on my hands from a wound I hadn't noticed on the back of her head. The security camera had recorded me standing over her for 12 minutes. They arrested me on the spot. My hands were shaking so hard they could barely get the handcuffs on. My heart was pounding against my ribs like it wanted to escape. I kept saying I was trying to help her, but nobody seemed to be listening. The interrogation lasted 6 hours. They showed me the video over and over. They said it looked like I was the last person to see her alive. They said witnesses reported seeing a man matching my description near her car earlier that evening. I was trying to save her, I said for the 100th time. My voice was hoarse from talking. I found her like that. I called 911. Check my phone records. They checked. The 911 call confirmed my story, but the detective said criminals sometimes call for help after an attack to make themselves look innocent. That's when I realized how much trouble I was really in. The woman's name was Catherine Mills. She was a lawyer at a big firm downtown. Rich, connected, important. Her family wanted someone to blame, and I was the easiest target. I spent 3 weeks in jail waiting for trial because I couldn't afford bail. My wife sold her car to hire a lawyer. My kids had to explain to their teachers why their dad was in the news accused of murder. The trial was a nightmare. The prosecutor painted me as a predator who stalked women in parking garages. He showed the jury the security footage and asked them what they saw. A man standing over a dead woman. Blood on his hands. No witnesses to prove his story. My lawyer fought hard. He brought in my military records, showing I had medical training. He showed the 911 call transcript where I described her injuries accurately. He pointed out that the real killer would have run away, not stayed to help, but it wasn't enough. The jury was leaning toward conviction. I could see it in their faces. Then the forensic report came back. Catherine Mills had been struck on the back of the head with a blunt object, approximately 30 minutes before I found her. The coroner confirmed she had been lying there for at least 20 minutes before I arrived. The timeline proved I couldn't have attacked her. Even more important, they found DNA under her fingernails. It wasn't mine. The police ran the DNA through their database and got a match. A man named Victor Hernandez, who had attacked 2 other women in parking garages over the past year. He confessed when they brought him in. He said he thought Catherine was dead when he left her. She might have lived if someone had found her sooner, but she was alone in that garage for 20 minutes while her brain was bleeding. The charges against me were dropped immediately. The judge apologized in open court. The prosecutor shook my hand and said he was glad they got it right, but the damage was already done. My picture had been on the news for weeks. Half the people in my neighborhood still looked at me like I was a monster. My kids got bullied at school by classmates who said their dad was a killer. I sued the city for wrongful arrest. We settled for an amount that helped, but couldn't fix everything. Some stains don't wash out, no matter how hard you scrub. I still work at the hospital. I still walk through that parking garage every night after my shift. But now I have a dash cam on my chest that records everything I do, because the next time I try to save someone's life, I want proof.